Ask yourself whether reality is a dream. Are you a dream or reality? We are all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all. Come in and join us for the moment we call now. Rise up, join in, raise the whole vibration.
Hello, I'm here. Yes, I made it. Don't leave the party yet. I know I'm a couple of minutes late. I'm usually not. I was in the back just trying to figure some things out. I've got a lot of stuff going on tonight that I want to share with you guys, and I just wanted to kind of straighten it all out. So it was a couple minutes late. It was like I was in the car getting ready, and I just burst in the door from my own party because I see a bunch of people out there. I see Hat Pauser out there. I see Tim Lorenz out there. Of course, I see Ninja Kitty out there. I see Kim Princess out there. Wow. Let's see, who else do I see out there? Live, The Quiet Healer. I feel like this is like Romper Room. I don't know if you guys remember that show when you were a kid. She would hold up the magic mirror and say out in TV land, I see Joey and Johnny and Jessica and all the people, and I see Evie. It's awesome to see everybody. Thank you so much for focusing your energy and on this moment in this place. I'm excited to create it intentionally and then share it with everybody and share tonight's story. It's something kind of new, something I've been looking for, right? Having a guest who's got a very specific story. Not that all my guests have very specific stories about who they are and how they became who they are, and that's really the show started with. What is consciousness, right? Asking and answering that question to different people, theologists and psychics and channelers and everything. And it was just something I love to do. And it's evolved into this. So here we are. And it's good to see everybody out there. And also, who else do I see? I saw a bunch of names pop by. It's going by quick. But hashtag live, that's the party trick that we play here at the live stream of consciousness. Just if you're here and you're watching it, if it's Thursday, October 16th, type hashtag live in the comments just to tickle the algorithm, let it know you're here. And if you're watching the replay, if it's not Thursday the 16th, hashtag replay. That works too. That just tells the algorithm somebody came later knocking on the door and the party was over, but they came anyway. Thank you guys for doing that. Again, I'm excited tonight, but I also want to kind of keep the intention ritual going, where I clear the space, kind of let go of everything that happened before this moment today, right? I had a busy day working, lots of stuff going on. You probably had a busy day doing stuff, and things happen that kind of knocked you back for a second. And it's not plasma is chaotic, right? Plasma, I'm starting to use that as a word for the universe and source. Everything is made of plasma. So we'll be talking about that probably soon. I have some guests lined up who talk about that idea of what consciousness is. Consciousness possibly being, oh my God, I got that out. Consciousness possibly being plasma. So I think that's kind of cool. I think that's a cool theory. Anyway, so let's clear the space, clear the moment, and get things going, because I'm excited to talk to my guest. I have Sage here, always ready to do 3 breaths in and out with me. We do a nice breath in through the nose, and we do a push out where we let go of the stuff we don't need. So let's do this together. And here we go, Sage. Good to see you. Nice breath in. Push it out, push it out, push it out. Number 2 in. Push it out. Let go of that stuff. One more together. Make it a deep one. And just let it all out. let it out. Bring it in, let it out. Bring it in, let it out. That's how it works. That's how we stay alive. Breathing. So tonight's show is interesting. Tonight's guest is actually somebody who happened to come across the show. I think watching on Jennifer Rose's channel. Shout out to Jennifer Rose, Sacred Spiral Network, another great place to be and see great stuff. Speaking of Jennifer Rose, of course, as I speak of Jennifer Rose, she comes in and hashtag lives us. And the show, I guess, Julz, my guest, was watching the show and kind of doing something, and she said she heard in the background we were talking about something specific, and it perked up her ears, and so she started listening to the show, and I guess she had a good experience. She felt the energy, right? I am always talking about energy on this show. She felt the energy, and she was in and out of the conversation in the chat and participating in it. But then I got an email from her, and it was so flattering and so full of energy, and an amazing, interesting story. Fran says hi. Fran pulling from the Sacred Spiral Network. Jennifer Rose was visiting her today, so I sent her some love, and she says hi back. Anyway, so the email was, it included a video, a surveillance video, kind of like, oh my God, what's that movie? Paranormal something. It's like a horror movie, and it's like the infrared night footage from your camera. And it was Julz sleeping, and she had this experience, and she outlined her experience that we're going to talk about in the email, about having this conversation with her grandfather, kind of in her dream, right? Like you would think it was in her dream. She's sleeping. But she was recounting to me that she felt the experience like in the dream. She was in the other room. It was a familiar place, and her grandfather was there, and she had a conversation. But in the footage, you see it happen. You don't see. You're gonna have to watch it. We'll talk about it, and you'll watch it. But it's really amazing. There's an energy that comes through, and she wrote to me asking me, what it was called, because it was both sides of the conversation out loud. You can clearly hear that, and it's not quite. It wasn't EVP. It wasn't out of body experience. There was no terminology for it, and we've since found the terminology for it. So we're going to talk about that as well. So we're excited about that. But I just want to read a little bit of something that she wrote in the exchange, because this is what was really touching. She said, "So, young man, I'm curious to know how you came to understand unconditional love so well. I know it took me a lot of steps to get to my current place of understanding, so I may teach others. May I ask what major steps you took to get here?" Which is interesting. I don't know if we were specifically talking about unconditional love, or that was something that was just coming through. But I know letting go of ego is what we strive for. But I'm going to try to give you a boost. I would like you to know that I felt your energy through the screen last night. It was palpable for the entire session, underlined. I felt the kind of energy throughout my body while listening to you. It was amazing. Less than a handful of people that I have ever met or come across live in true unconditional love. Your wife, family, and friends must feel abundant blessings daily. At this point, my life is an open book. I would gladly answer any questions you have, because I was inviting her to be on the show. I look forward to chatting with you. Thank you for being you, Mr. Michael. What a wonderful, incredible email to get, and energy to exchange with somebody, because there's intention behind that too. There's intention behind writing somebody and telling somebody that, which is unconditional love. Exactly what it's talking about. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. So I'm super excited. Without further ado, to introduce to the show Julz Statler. Welcome to the live stream of consciousness.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Mr. Michael.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being out there and receiving whatever it is that I'm doing, because a lot of times I tell people I don't know what it is I'm doing. I'm just doing it because it feels right. And you are a true testament to that exact thing.
Well,
So
I'm honored to be here.
awesome. Thank you so much. That's an honor right back. It's a great reflection. And the Quiet Healer says, welcome, Julz, and Ninja Kitty. Welcome, Julz. And Arnie Lorenz
Thank
is
you.
here. Love and light and all. Welcome, Arnie. So I want to preface, I guess, a little bit. I want you to tell the story. I want to look at the video together and I want to talk about it, but I also want to preface to the audience that when you wrote me, it was very concise, it was very articulate, but you did, when I asked you to be on the show, you did say, hey, listen, I'm the survivor of a traumatic brain injury, and I can write to you and I can communicate this way very clearly, but I don't know if I can hold a conversation. Now, I started holding a conversation with you earlier and you seem fine to me, but I just want everybody in the audience to understand, we may slow down. We're just we're gonna go with it. And it seems you're very well equipped to go with it. So
Yes, sir.
I think that we're gonna be all right.
Yes, sir.
But again, I told a little bit of the story, and a little bit about what I saw on the video. Do you want to kind of expand upon that a little bit? You want to tell us your side of it?
Okay. Well, I think you did first of all, I think you did a very good job in explaining it, but it is hard to explain. Okay. So what is in the video, all you see in the video is you see me in bed sleeping. So that's really all you see. But what occurred during that time, where you're seeing the video, is that my bedroom is probably 30, 40 feet away. I was sitting in this exact spot that I'm sitting now. My front door, not that you can see it, is over there. And it was still kind of warm at that time. It was in September. And so my front door was open and I have a screen door. And so as I was sitting here, I watched a younger version of my grandfather. Now, keep in mind, when I was born, my grandfather was probably 50 or 60 years old. When I watched him walk through my front door, he was 20 to 30 years old, but I still recognized his face. Having said that, I also saw a portion of the other side that he came from, which was, here we go. Let's just stutter on our words. I don't know that I have words to explain what I saw on the other side. All I can say, it was phenomenally fantastic. It was nothing I've ever seen.
Wow.
But what the other part of what you see or what you hear in the video is you'll see me in bed, but when you hear my voice, and you guys might, anybody that's watching, you might want to turn your volume up, but I say that with a little bit of trepidation because in the very beginning of the video, within the first 13 seconds, you hear me and I'm speaking. I sound like I am yelling into the microphone of the IR cam. Obviously, I'm in bed. I'm not saying anything. And we have tried to recreate this. I've tried to recreate where my voice was, how loud it was. Can't do it. Having said that, my grandfather, when in actuality, we were having this conversation out here, but in the bedroom, it sounds like he is down lower, like near the floor, and outside of my room in the hallway. So you got to keep those things in mind. Now, all I can do is assure you that this is real. I know it can probably be debunked. I don't care. It happened. But I can't explain it. I don't know what I've done. I have a ritual that I go through at night. I
Well,
don't
maybe
know if
you told me a little bit about the story. Let me interrupt. Sorry.
okay.
That the reason that you were taping was because you were having experiences and feeling somebody sitting on your bed. Tell the listeners about
Yes.
that.
Yes. So for like the last year and a half, I don't know, quite a long time, I kept feeling, when you're laying in bed and you have the covers over you, and say for instance, whether you have an animal or a loved one and they come in and they sit on the bed, you know how the covers kind of tighten up around your legs
Sure.
when, so I
Yep.
kept feeling that. But every time I would look up or sit up, or obviously there was nothing or nobody there. I knew it wasn't like anybody breaking into my house or whatever.
Right.
But I do have a cat. But my
Right.
cat sleeps next to my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd reach out my hand to see, is it my cat? And my cat would be laying right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no explanation as to how the covers could
Sure. Yeah.
tighten up around my legs. And not that they were hella tight or anything like that, you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But enough that I could tell that there was pressure.
Yeah.
So because of that, I told my kids, I'm like, I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but there is somebody that keeps coming in and sitting on my bed at night.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get a camera. And I had been watching some videos and I had contacted some people to find out what would be the best way to capture that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't expect to capture a being. I just thought I could capture the blankets being, depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Where they were around my legs. That was why I even put the camera up to begin with, just to see if I could catch something,
right,
or someone sitting on my bed at night.
So
That's why the camera's there.
Right. So you had the idea that it wasn't necessarily an actual physical being, that it might have been some sort of non-physical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, again, I thought I had to rule my cat out because my cat was sleeping next to me. So
Right.
what else could be causing that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And was it my imagination?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to test the waters to see what I could prove and what I couldn't,
Yeah.
Could I see anything or?
Yeah.
So that's how the cam ended up in there, not for this reason whatsoever.
Yeah. That's I think that's an important part of the story, why people, like, again, you said it could be debunked, but you're like, why would you send me this? Why I don't, it's not even the first thing that I'm thinking of, like, oh, this is going to be, like, I'm just like as interested in as you are in what's going on here,
Right.
and to hear you, a little bit about our exchange back and forth, for me, as just an observer of the tape and hearing you, reading the story. There's your kitty.
There's my kitty.
Reading the story, to me, I have seen a lot of like trans channelers, right? So I felt like maybe you were channeling your grandfather's part two. Just not in your experience, you were seeing him, you know what I mean? But just the physical part was coming through you. That's kind of what I said to you, that my interpretation was. But even that kind of had no title, right?
Right.
And we went back and forth and tried to find a title. What did you eventually find out?
So I just, trust me when I say all I did was research, try to find anybody out there that might have heard of it or knew what it was called. And lo and behold, a young lady by the name of Mandy Lou Paul, I believe she's from the UK. Again, a very organic way that I kind of found her. But she was, I don't know where she was in the list of the hundreds of people I've contacted. But she said, oh, that's called advanced physical mediumship with direct voice. And I get goosebumps. I don't even know if you all can see. I have goosebumps.
Yeah, I do see it.
With her saying that, I was like, I was so excited. I'm like, oh, it has a name. Thank you. It has a name. Because I didn't, it seemed seems like mediumship. Now, I've taken mediumship classes.
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
certified in quantum hypnosis.
Dolores Cannon, QHHT.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Thank you.
yeah, yeah,
QHHT. That's an
yeah,
easier way to say it. I'm certified in that. So, like, I mean, I have an interest in things of the other side anyway.
mhm, mhm,
But when I got a hold of Miss Mandy, I didn't know really what she even did.
mhm.
And since then, she's kind of given me some directions so that I
Awesome.
can, because I want to reproduce this. I want to be able to do this at will, on command. Whatever it is that I need to do, I will work for it. It
Now
was
let me ask
definitely
you a
worth it.
question. Interesting that you say that, and of course I can understand that, right? But do you also feel like do you think it's something specifically a gift you're being given to figure out something for yourself, or do you think it's a gift that you might use for other people to help other people also experience this?
If I could do it on command, I would do it freely. I would do it for free. I would do it for anybody that wanted it.
Right. Wow.
I don't know why, but
Right.
if I
Right.
was able to do it, I would definitely provide that for others for free.
Interesting. Interesting.
At least
So
that's what I say right now.
yeah, 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 and that's fine. Evie Kitten has a question. She says, "Did your kitty react at all? My kitties have generally acknowledged any entities or angels that visit."
Well, you'll see. So I don't know who asked that. Evie?
Yeah, yeah,
Miss, I assume that's a female.
yeah,
So Miss
yeah, yeah,
Evie.
yeah,
In the video, you'll see the way that my cat reacted.
yeah.
So I have an area where I feed my cat. It sits kind of up high. You'll see it in the video, maybe. The only thing that she reacted to was the fact that I was, and again, like I tell you at the beginning of this video, my voice is extremely loud. My grandpa's isn't so loud. You can definitely tell. But she bailed out of the room because I was being so loud at what would we say, 4:43, 4:53 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's not used to mama just talking at the top of her lungs at that time in the morning.
Yeah.
So that was the only way that I did go back and look at, that's a good question though, because I did go back and
Yeah.
I did look at the video to see, what did she react to?
Yeah,
Because animals are very sensitive to that.
yeah.
So,
I think cats specifically too. I think are sensitive.
yeah, but really
Totally.
the only thing that I noticed that she reacted to was the loudness of my voice. I think I scared her.
Totally.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. And I love that, this is kind of something that's put you in this position, of being able to explore it with your own personal experience and questions, right? And reason to even connect it. Now, what was it? Is there something specific about your relationship with your grandfather that you remember that you might think is specifically trying to come through?
So my grandfather was the one. I'm going to get emotional.
That's okay. That's a good thing.
My grandfather was the one person in my life that I felt loved me completely unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my grandfather, I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't.
I see it.
So my grandfather was a Masonic Mason. Now, I know that they get a bad rap a lot of times. But I wear his ring. His ring is always right here with me. I don't wear any other jewelry, but I wear that.
I love that.
But my grandfather was the one person that I felt in my life that from day one, that I received unconditional love from. So at night, I was telling you, I kind of have a little bit of a ritual. So, and this goes back beyond anything sitting on my bed. I go to bed. I do what I call a long gratitude list versus throughout the day, I'm constantly verbal about being grateful for things. And I can find any reason to be grateful. So I just constantly can find things to be grateful for.
It's so much fun. People don't realize how much fun that is.
It is
and
actually
rewarding. And rewarding.
It is. it's rewarding because it makes me feel good. That's the selfish part, if you will. But anyway, so at night I do my long gratitude list, which involves everything from I'm thankful for my toes that give me balance when this body stands up, to I'm thankful for my cat who brings me joy. You know, I mean, anyway, I just go down a very long list. And then after that, then I do what and again, I have no terms for this stuff. So if anybody's out there and they have a term for it, please let me know, because I've just done this on my own with no help. But then I do what I call a mental massage of my body. So I can take my conscience and I can physically I start with my toes. I can feel just like if you or I were rubbing my toes. That's what I can feel it. I fully feel it. So I start massaging, you know, my body. That's my way of relaxing and then going to sleep. Usually I don't get much further. These days, I don't get much further than if I even get to my knees and I'm out.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've mastered it.
Yes. Yeah. I used to be one of those people, though, that I would be in my head for hours and thinking about this conversation and that conversation and what I needed to do. And now I've learned how to clear all the clutter.
You know, I was honestly just thinking about how I'm going to be taking that personal advice, because I've been having a lot of trouble getting to bed for that exact reason. Like I lay down and my head starts just going, and I'm just like, all right. And I do intentionally like breathe. I focus on my breath. I'm like, okay, let me follow my own advice, right? I'm going to release everything. I breathe out, I release. So I do a bit of that, but I believe I totally relate to what you're saying, right? Like this mental energetic thing. It's like you're very sensitive to energy, right? And so you can almost like mentally, it's like it's like Reiki almost, right? You're sending out the energy intentionally to your body to like, go to sleep now, go to sleep. You're sending a lullaby to your cells, to your toes, to your, you know, to your body. I love it. I love this.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. So I give myself a mental massage. But I feel it physically, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I just don't have those nights anymore. I can fall asleep. I'm the one that falls asleep within 30 seconds, you know. Maybe not that short of a time, but definitely.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
A minute or two.
That's awesome. And I think I go through phases, right? There are some times where it's just the clutter is happening, and then there's times where I'm like, wait a second, I'm in charge of this. And again, I just do my breathing. Kim Princess says, I've learned how to clear out the clutter also through meditation. It only took me 46 years. Otherwise, I'd be in my head all night. Yeah.
And that I think Miss Kim, I think that's a great majority of the population walking around on Earth. Well, at least in the United States. I don't know. Maybe other countries are different.
Yeah. I've been talking about that a lot. The hamster wheel, you know, that we all get on, and we seem to forget that we're on it, and we're just going and going and going and going, and we gotta intentionally say, okay, I'm gonna step off now here for a minute, and I'm just gonna intentionally be off of the wheel and disconnect.
That's the big word, intent.
Yeah,
intent. And so after I do this mental massage, or maybe even during that, or between my gratitude list and doing that, I say to myself, I guess it's probably right before I go to sleep, is that I say, my intent is to be open and connect with anybody that would like to connect with me. I'm open to receive that. And that's what I did this night, which is no different than any night in the past year and a half, in the past longer than that. It's been multiple years I've been doing that. So it's just, but I'm just saying, it was just a regular night. And I kind of want to make this clear too. I'm just a regular person, just like everybody else. If it's possible for me, it's possible for anybody else to do this too.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. And I say the same thing. I'm just a regular guy. I'm not out there saying I'm a healer and I'm a this and I'm a that. I feel connected to energy. I feel connected to people. I feel connected to when I experience something like this, I feel connected to the idea of accepting and exploring it more than I feel connected to the idea of just brushing it off and saying, oh, that's not real. You know what I mean? I definitely feel more connected. So I'm surprised that people are not chomping at the bit going, show us the video. But we're about to show you guys the video now. I think it's only about like 30 seconds in, not even 30 seconds, like 15 seconds in. So watch closely. Go ahead, Julz. You're going to say something?
Well, here's something else I want to point out for anybody that wants to take a stab at this. So after you hear our voices, you see the covers move on my bed. And that makes me wonder if I was having an out-of-body experience and I was going back into my body. I'm not claiming that that's what I did. I'm saying right here, I don't know. I have questions. So if anybody does know.
Yep. That's what one of the reasons I was excited. I feel like we're kind of doing a little bit of a live paranormal investigation here, just kind of talking about, just putting it out there and talking about it and showing it to everybody. All right, let me set up the screen so we could go here on the side and raise your volume like Julz said. And let's
just know that the first 13 seconds you're going to hear me, and
it comes in right. It's silence at first, and then it comes in. All right, here we go.
So I apologize for the loudness. So my cat's over there on that where that little bench is.
Oh my God, Grandpa, that was so cool.
And they're like, all of a sudden I'm moving, and those covers seem to be moving. I'm not sure about that. So that's it. That's all there is to it.
I got chills watching. Every time I watch it, I get chills. Now I was trying to watch for the cat. I didn't see the cat, but I know.
So look to on the bottom left corner ish, or on the side where our pictures are. Or maybe it's not like that on yours, but you see that like diamond shape.
Yeah, there's like a bench or something. Yeah.
That's a bench, and the cat is right above that.
All right, so let's watch that. Let's watch that one more time. I'm gonna just restart it. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh my God, Grandpa, that was so cool.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, I get chills every time.
I do too. You're not alone. Me too. And it happened to me, and I still do. Wow. I still do, because that voice you hear, that's, again, like I said, when he walked through my door, he was like 20, 30-ish, which I'd never even seen him at that age. But that's the voice that I know him when he was 60, 70 years old.
Right. And Kim says, it sounds like he said, good job. Can you tell us what the dialogue is? Like you had written to me what the dialogue was specifically.
Yes. So you hear me say, oh my God, Grandpa, that was so cool. And I was saying that because I was sitting here, and when I watched him come through my front door.
I just got chills. Whoa. Yeah, I just got chills. Okay.
So, me too. As I was watching him walk through the door, so I could see from like here down to maybe like, I know you can't see that, down to like right here, right?
Yeah.
So like that was the part of him that came through my door first, like he came through head first.
Okay.
And so when he came through, I could see that other side. Like I was telling you, I could see it. I can't really I can try to describe describe it, but whatever.
Wow.
But when he came through, that was me saying, "Oh my God, Grandpa, that was so cool," because of how I watched him come through
Right.
this
Portal. Yeah.
whatever
Whatever. Yeah.
whatever it was that he came through. But I could just see like this little area behind him. So that's why I say, "Oh my God, Grandpa, that was so cool." Now,
Wow.
again, we're still sitting in, as far as I'm concerned, we were sitting in my living room. I wasn't
Right.
back there in the bedroom. And
Right.
then he says, "Ta-da." That's what you hear him say. He doesn't say
Ta-da.
good job. You have to
Right.
listen to it a
Like
couple
here I
of
am.
times.
Like here I am. Ta-da.
Now, that's funny. See, you say, "Oh, here I am." And I've asked, I'm like, is it a ta-da because I was able to bring him through? Or is it a ta-da because like,
Right.
okay, here I showed up, ta-da.
Yeah. Wow.
Like I have no idea. And then you hear me laugh just because I think that was like an oh my God laugh. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like
Like a nervous laugh almost.
a nervous laugh, like
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I say, "Hi." And then you can hear a blip of a voice, but can't make it
Really,
out. Don't know
can't
if it
make it
was
out.
him.
Wow,
Don't know
Jules.
who was with him.
I gotta tell you, like actually, like watching it and reading your emails and everything, I got chills, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I can't wait to talk about this. But listening to you tell the story, right, and explain that's why you were saying, oh my God, Grandpa, that was so cool. Like that just makes so much sense, and it like as I'm even saying it, I'm getting chills because it feels like the truth, right? It feels like that's like almost like how they say we're all one, we're all connected, right?
We
So
are, yes.
it's sometimes when somebody says something like that, I can experience it and I can almost put myself in your perspective, right? Like, wow, especially when you say this is what I was thinking and what I was feeling, like that's what I felt. So I know we've got a couple of mediums watching and my audience is pretty connected with source and energy. I would love to hear your guys' feedback. If anybody wants me to play it again, I would gladly play it again. If anybody wants to get in touch with Jules, we'll get you guys in touch. But this is an amazing story. Now, you also said in your emails that you kind of have felt connected to the other side your whole life.
Correct.
You want to talk
Yes,
about
sir.
that a little bit? Tell us about that. Like what kind of
Uh,
experiences did you have when you were younger or
so I guess when I was really young, I guess I was very psychic. So much so that my mom wrote a letter to Duke University. And apparently they referred her to Loma Linda because Loma Linda University in California, in Southern California, because I do remember going to Loma Linda and being tested with lots of people. Lots of people.
Oh wow. Okay.
Now, yeah, but I was probably 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wow,
I,
being tested for psychic abilities at 5 or 7 years old. Wow.
yes, sir.
That's
But
crazy.
again, I couldn't tell you, oh yeah, I was 5 years old and we did this and that happened.
Right.
So I did that with them, and then my life took a curve. So that was just kind of not an avenue that we ended up going down, but other things happened. One of the things that it's something that has happened since I've been an adult. But it always happens the same way. So if I'm in the shower, this is nothing bad. So if I'm in the shower, and sometimes like I have a window up above my in the bathtub, there's a window, right? There's a ledge and a window. And that was always where we set for us girls, that was where we put our razor blades.
Okay.
Like to shave our legs, right?
Right.
And the very first time, I'll just tell you the first time I remember this happening. So, and don't ask me why. I was a kid. I don't know why I would think such a weird thing. But I'm like, you know what? I wonder what would happen. Or I wonder, how did I don't even know. Like, I wonder if I could make that move. right? Talking about the razor. And sure as
Telekinetically,
shit,
like with your mind. Right.
yeah, and sure as shit, it flew off right then and there.
Oh my God.
And it caught me in the chest. I'll just put it that way.
Oh geez. Wow.
And it freaked me out. It just freaked me out.
That
And
sounds cool.
so
Yeah.
I was like, maybe it was just like any, I think, normal person. I was like, that must have just been sitting on the edge, just waiting to fall.
Right.
But then I was able to replicate that.
Wow.
But here's the thing. It's only with razors, and it's only when I'm in the shower. So water and metal.
Wow.
That's personally just what I think. I think that there's something.
Wow, that's interesting. I have
energetically.
Yeah. And I have a friend, Brian, who's been on the show a couple times, and he does what he calls effects, where he puts a rod. He balances this rod, and he actually makes it start spinning on this concave surface, right?
Right.
And that's he like. He doesn't do anything else, right? He doesn't move salt shakers across the room.
Right.
That's very specifically what he does. So it's very interesting that you're saying it's very specific, and everything is in the mind. And there's a couple of people who asked before we go forward. Kim Princess said, the fact that I heard him is mind blowing. I saw the sheets move for sure, almost like someone is walking over you. Yeah, and
isn't that crazy, Miss Kim?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The fact that you can hear him.
Yeah.
And one of the things, so let's back up to back to what Miss Kim's asking or saying. So Miss Mandy, she's kind of directed me to a few videos to watch and some different things.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one that was called something like the Blitz, BLITZ. Blitz Witch. But anyway, when I started really, again, for the last month, this is all that I've done is really do a lot of research. And it seems like back in the 1800s, this was a common thing for people to, or at least more common than what it is today.
Okay.
And that people would be able to bring forth, just like that, bring forth these voices from what I've read, and that it's a completely separate voice. It's not, I'm not a ventriloquist.
Right.
I can't throw my voice, and I definitely can't make it sound like a 70-year-old man.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well,
and move him down on the floor.
Yeah. People want to hear it again, so we're going to play it again.
Okay.
But Hat Pauser is saying, yes, she's onto something there. I tell people to pray or do spells in the shower and the bath. Water is an excellent conductor of electricity.
That's what I believe too.
Yeah, I certainly believe that water is a key element that we are connected to, for sure. It's got a lot of energetic properties, and
it's an easy transference of energy. As well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put us back up here in the corner again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna play.
Yeah, we watched this probably 30, 40 times.
I can imagine.
People I showed it to the first night.
Yeah, I can imagine. So a few people, Hat said she got her headphones. So if you guys are ready, here we go. Listen close. I'm gonna add this to the stage. Let me rewind it. Here we go. All right.
Notice the covers aren't moving.
Grandpa. That was so cool.
I still laugh because I can't explain it.
Oh my God. It
I
just
don't know how to
it gets
explain
me. It just gets me so much. Stuff like this, like I certainly, like you said, there's stuff that's like, okay, it could be debunked or whatever, but sometimes when I see things, even photos that like have these traces of physical evidence, I feel it energetically. So it's like, how can I deny myself that, right? How can I deny myself that feeling and saying, okay, that something is there, you know what I mean? it's just an extra layer of energy. So I don't know, Hat, if you got anything out of that in your headphones, or Kim, or I think who else was asking for me to play it again? I think Evie was saying play it again. But anyway, I could keep playing that thing, all night long. I clearly heard him say "ta-da" and then laugh. Yeah,
Right.
ta-da. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you want to hear? So here's the other part. So my mom is in a facility because she had a stroke.
Okay.
And of all the people, there's only 2 people I know of that are alive on this planet that can identify that voice, and that's me and my mom. And she's hard. I wouldn't say she's hard of hearing, but there's certain frequencies she can't hear. And so I've taken my little phone and the video and whatnot, and she can't hear it. So I went and got Bluetooth. So hopefully you all can tell me, yes, the Bluetooth worked. So hopefully on the 24th of this month, she'll be able to hear her dad's voice, who passed away in 1977.
Oh, wow. So she still hasn't heard the recording like clearly in her own
She can
ears.
hear me.
Right.
She can hear me, but she can't hear him.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm really looking forward to on the 24th.
And you're saying that's because of specific frequency, right? Like when somebody loses their hearing, they kind of lose different ranges of frequency.
Yeah, correct.
Wow.
So I'm hoping that she can hear it on the 24th.
That's awesome. And Kim is suggesting that you take a video of that. So like when you show her video the whole reaction. That's a great idea.
It is a good idea. I don't think about stuff like that.
Yeah, no, and again, it is a great story. I'm so grateful that you reached out with this story, and I wished I had an answer. I wish I was like, oh yeah, I can tell you everything about that, but I'm certainly not the expert. But I love that you reached out to me, because I do feel like that is kind of one of my gifts, is the connection that I have to other people, right? So like we're all connected somehow to each other, and Evie's asking if headphones would help for your mom, but I guess that's what you got, is the Bluetooth, right?
Yes,
So
I did.
that's what she's doing, Evie. And by the way, Evie, Evelyn is my grandmother's name. So because she said earlier, yes, it's she's a she, and her name is Evelyn. Many years ago, I had an experience where I was pulled out of my body and given a little tour. Just as I was settling back in, I heard a voice and always wondered if it was really allowed in the room.
Right.
And there you go. So we have evidence on video of that, which I just think again is great. And again, that was the original question. You're like, what's the word for this phenomena,
Right.
of a voice actually materializing, so that you can hear it.
Advanced physical mediumship with direct voice or independent voice. So back in the 1800s, they used to do this, but then there was a lot of people, I guess, that were skeptics, I'm assuming, and decided, well, you know what? They're faking it. So let's do this and we can fake it. And then they got busted for fraud, right? People were like, that's bull. You didn't do that. And so then there were some really negative things that happened, to people that were able to do this, like calling them witches. And
of course. Well, I think, yeah, of course. I think that's the beautiful thing about this moment in time, right? And shows like this, and the Sacred Spiral Network, places where people are having conversations openly about psychic abilities, being able to connect with the other side, whether it's taking the form of past loved ones or higher selves or angels or ETs, right? Aliens or all of these things, to me, and this is just my opinion, are kind of, they're just fractals of the same thing, right? They're just the same energy, just showing up how it needs to show up for whoever needs to receive it, right? Because everybody is going to have different experiences that will allow them to accept things at certain levels, right? You know, to certain people, ETs makes more sense, right, than past loved ones. To some people, past loved ones, you know, touches that heartstring. But I think in all cases, it's a matter of feeling, the feeling that you have, and that's really what your story is all about, right? Is that, you know, there's a video of you sleeping, but in your head, that's not what happened. In your head,
Nope.
you have you have a video of it in your head that's a whole different video. You know,
Correct.
that's
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, there's a whole nother reality
right.
beyond me being in that bed that
Right.
took place out here in my living room.
And that's the big thing I'm fascinated in, is that, you know, we as human beings kind of don't understand like the limited amount of reality that is. You know, like that's just such a small percentage of the big picture. You know, and we've been taught to kind of take it so seriously, and I guess it makes sense, right? We've got to function within it. So it makes
Right.
sense. It makes sense to take it seriously, but I guess things like the fear of death, you know, that a lot of people struggle, you know, day to day, like, oh my God, I'm going to die, you know, or whatever. Just knowing that there's something bigger, something better, that unconditional love that you talked about when you addressed me, right? Like knowing that you're a part of that, right? Like even hearing somebody refer to me in any way, like as a part of that, like I've somehow reflected to them unconditional love. I feel like, oh, that's wonderful.
Right.
You know?
Well, I will say, you know, prior to this happening, I think I believe that we died and we went to the next dimension, the next place. Since this has happened, I don't think we die at all. We just go to a different area. We're just at a different space.
Timeline. Yeah, different reality.
Yeah. I don't think we ever die. I don't, you know, you can't kill energy. Energy's always there. Depends on, there's so many different viewpoints and which way you want to look at it. But I really don't think we die. I think we just leave behind the meat suit. Right. Is all it is. And we just travel to this other place.
Our essence goes somewhere else. Yeah.
Yes. And back in 2010, so this was right after my brain injury was in actually 2004. Through the healing process, I was doing a lot of different things to try to make those neural connections in my brain, right? And there was a point when one day and again, this is kind of like this video. I do not know how to explain this. So try to follow along here. But my spirit, my soul, my essence, my something, it jumped. And it was a physical jump because it landed above me, like we'll say it was on a platform. Now I'm still in this body, but this other part of me jumped. And it stayed there ever since 2010. It is still there to this day.
Wow.
Even though I'm here and I'm talking to you, I'm animated, right? I can move. But that part of me is still there. So if anybody knows about that, let me know about that, because I have no idea, but it was a physical, I felt it come out of my body. I felt it jump. And that's just what I call it. I call it the jump.
Wow.
And that I'm right here. Now, in that moment, it was almost like I was like on a plateau or something, like where I could look down. But in no way, just to make this clear, in no way do I feel like I am above or looking down on people. That's not what this is. But it was my... I don't even know what word to use, but it was part of me. Yeah. That it jumped and it's just stayed there.
Okay. And it's kind of interesting. I'm trying to process that. Courtney Lopez says, "Call back your power." So
I like where my power is.
And Hat Powser saying it's an astral body, and I my interpretation, again, I'm just going to feed back. I'm just going to process to you what you just said, and kind of tell you what my thoughts are and feelings are.
Okay.
Is kind of what Hat's saying. Astral body, like, it's a part of yourself. It's an energetic aspect of yourself, that somehow your human aspect of yourself is able to sense, right, as I know it's there, but not
Yes.
really have the language in human aspect to
Yes.
describe it, right? Or to,
Correct.
do you feel like it's communicating with you, like, in any way, or guiding you, or like
I feel like it watches.
it watches? Okay.
That's funny. I never thought about it, but now that you asked, I feel like it watches. Not that it necessarily watches me,
Right.
which I'm sure it does,
Sure.
but I feel like it's watching
Just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I never thought about that. You just gave me goosebumps again.
Yeah. Well, it definitely sounds like an aspect of yourself, right? But again, a non-physical aspect of yourself, which as a human being, I can say those words. Okay, it's a non-physical aspect of yourself, right? But that doesn't really describe it or give it a definition. It's a feeling, and that's what it sounds like that you're describing. Like, just, you have this sense all the time that it's there.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Like this is part of the reason why I really, again, way before this video ever came out, I'm a science nerd anyway, right? And so I was kind of looking. Initially, I started looking for somebody to explain that to me,
right?
And people just could not wrap.
Well,
they either thought I was crazy, or they couldn't wrap their mind around it. Now I'm like hoping for like people like Caroline Corey,
right?
Who else? Anybody that does what's the word I want? It's not experiments. What do you call it when
research?
Like,
or I don't know.
No, like so let's just say that it's your business. I go in and you put EEGs on me. Right. And then you do that testing to see what's working.
Analytics, or
but somebody that has the ability, equipment wise, and knowledge wise, to be able to do whatever tests are needed to find out what it is that I'm actually like to see if there's a way to put it in words, right? To look at it in black and white on paper and say, oh, okay, your left hemisphere is controlling this, your right hemisphere is controlling this, and these are the possibilities,
right?
Whatever the case may be. So that's what I'm really like kind of hoping for, like kind of like they did like when my mom got a hold of Duke University, where I was able to go in and where they were able to test me.
Right.
I don't even know what the results of those tests were. I was a little kid.
Interesting.
So
interesting. Yeah, no, it's interesting. And I feel like I'm just thinking as you're talking, right, of things like EKGs and like, where they monitor your brain waves or your electrical energy, right? And that's really, I don't feel like that even defines it, right? We're talking about the idea of feelings, right? And that language can't even describe these things. So what I was thinking this whole time, and again, I don't profess to be a psychic, right? Or whatever, but I do feel like I have a bit of an intuition. And what I was thinking as you were telling me this is, you not only will you be finding out the answers to your questions that you're looking for, but you will be teaching people the whole thing because of your experience. I feel like you'll be telling people this is what it is, and even helping guide people to find it within themselves, right? Like, through your ritual at night, right? Like, you may say, here's what you should do: go to bed. When you go to bed, do this, and and maybe it's not something that you can do in one day, but after a month of doing it, you have this experience,
right? And just to touch on that, I know you and I had spoke about this before. But that's where I do feel like that for me, I feel like being unconditional love,
Mm-hmm.
not trying,
Mm-hmm.
not wanting,
Mm-hmm.
being unconditional love. So whatever frequency I've had to ask myself, is it because I've raised my frequency so high? Because I can tell people how to get to unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can tell you 4 little things right now
Let's
that
hear
will
them.
put you on that path. One is that you have to completely forgive yourself for everything. For everything. And a lot of people say, I forgive myself. Yeah, check yourself on that.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive yourself, forgive others.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can love yourself unconditionally,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people will say, oh, I love myself. I can tell within the first 10 words that come out of your mouth whether or not you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then learn to love others unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
And that there for those 4 things, those are the 4 main ones, right? In the beginning, I had to take thousands upon thousands of steps and paths and twists and turns to get to this place.
Mm-hmm.
But I also worked on it. I continually work on it. And I never stop, right? Now it's maintenance. A long time ago, it was work. Now it's just maintenance.
Right.
But I honestly think that probably does have something to do with it, because
Mm-hmm.
people tell me all the time, this isn't like patting myself on the back, but I have people tell me all the time, you exude love. You shine, you glow, right? So they see what I feel.
That's awesome.
Or they also feel what I'm sending out.
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be, and the world needs more Julz.
We
For sure.
we are all Julzes. We are
Yeah.
all Michaels. We
Yes.
are all that.
There you go. Exactly. And that's what I love. You said that earlier, like, I'm nothing special, I'm just me, but we're
Yeah.
all just us, and we all are.
Right.
And yeah, and Courtney was just saying, I just want to acknowledge Courtney here. She said you could also have a terrestrial being on another planet. So I'm imagining she's saying like some sort of energetic connection, with some other terrestrial being. And then when we were talking about the EEG is what it's called. I called it EKG,
Right.
I think.
That's okay. I knew what you meant.
And then remote viewing is also kind of what it sounds like. And then when you were talking about yourself, your purpose, love, be the change you wish to see in the world. I love that
Correct.
saying. I love that just makes so much sense, right? Like, how can you expect somebody else to be something if you're not going to be it, right?
Right.
It just like makes so much sense. So thank you, Courtney, for your love and words of wisdom, and always being here. Julz, your story is amazing, and I definitely would love to have you back, and maybe we could do an episode, like you're saying, all about unconditional love. I think it is an important thing. I think, like you said, I think a lot of people think, oh, I love myself, or they feel like they have an understanding of what it truly is. And I'm not saying that, no, you have no idea. I think people do know, but I don't think it's as simple as people think. I think there's more intention involved. And like you said, the maintenance, right? Like, is like, once you get there, you've got to always maintain and be like, oh, wait a second, I came here purposely trying to be unconditional love. I've got to maintain that. I've got to always be that. And listen, we're human. We slip up. Like I said, I do my 3 breaths because there is stuff that happens during the day that I've got to release, right? Every day is not perfect. Everything that comes in is not love and light. So I've got to let go of some stuff. And as a matter of fact, I feel a sneeze coming on. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Holy. See that? The universe delivers what you manifest, what you talk about. Exactly. I just manifested that sneeze. Evie says, great discussion. Thank you. And Ninja Kitty,
Thank
thank
you
you.
guys
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Yes.
Yeah, I would be honored to come back and chit
Awesome.
chat. Yeah, there's, you know, I have several people that come in and out, you know, of my little world, you know, that either want advice or whatever it is,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
and I try
Absolutely.
to tell them what works for me and what has worked for me. And if,
Exactly.
you know, it's not that I'm going to tell you, you need to do this, because I believe, like what you said, we all came here. We're all on different journeys, different
Yep.
paths, or
Yep.
different places on our
Yep.
path, on our journey, you know, and sometimes, hey, if going out and drinking and doing your thing is where you need to be right now, so be it. Right? That's not for me to judge. It's not for me to tell you how.
Right.
But if you're at a place that you're ready, that you're like, I want something different. I want to raise my vibration. I want to have more positive energy. I want to share more positive energy. I want to bring more light in,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you know, then I might be able to impart a few
And that's always, I love that. And
pieces
that's,
of knowledge.
I love that. That's exactly what we're talking about. Live as an example, exude love and compassion, and that's exactly
Yes.
what we're talking about. And Hat says it's about more than setting an example. It's about identifying with a new frequency and opening it up in front of your eyes. And all the time, like you said, I don't think it's ever like, okay, I've identified the frequency, now I'm done. I think you're constantly finding the frequency and then fine tuning it, and getting that frequency to the ultimate frequency.
Right.
Which I think at that point you just start over. It's just a cycle, right? It's just like, you know.
I hope not. I kind of like this frequency I'm in. I hope that, you know, I personally believe that I'm going to take whatever this frequency is with me when I leave the meat suit behind.
And
you know?
Also another thing I believe is you are always exactly where you're supposed to be. So
yes.
There you go. So yes, if it does start over, I won't be happy, but right, remember what they say is when it starts over, you lose all your memory. You forget that you even, it's like that clock, you have to start remembering again. But whatever.
Hey, brain injuries are good for that. That's one of the
there you
I'll
go.
give you a little example. So my brain injury, a lot of people saw that as, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's horrible. And I look at it and say, you know what? Thank you. One of the things it did was I lost my memory. And I am thankful I did, because all of those tapes that we play at night when we lay down, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff that we think about, my mind doesn't hold that.
Right.
Didn't hold that. It does now,
Right.
but didn't hold that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm thankful that I don't remember a lot of stuff. Holding on to stuff isn't all it's cracked up to be.
I love it. I love it. Excellent. Well, thank you again, Julz, for being here, for reaching out to me, for being out there to receive whatever it is that's happening here at the live stream. Thank you guys all for showing up and being here intentionally and hanging out for an hour with us. And again, I don't know what's coming up next. I think I like this direction of finding guests with amazing stories. So if you know anybody who has a story they want to share, or a question that they're looking for an answer for, or something that might work, send them my way, because that's what we're doing here on the live stream of consciousness. I will see everybody on Tuesday on Holding Space, and next week again on the live stream. Julz, thanks. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Michael.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
This is the theme song for the live stream of consciousness. You gotta ask yourself whether reality is a dream or you are dream reality. We are all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all. Come in and join us for the moment we call